it's the start of another video, another segment of that beautiful car behind me. And as you see on my shirt, it is Power Play Garage. Okay, so I'm going to bring you up to date. I did post one this morning, Thursday morning, and I had to do a little change on something I kind of had in the back of my mind, but verified it yesterday when the car was up in the air. So I'm going to point it out, and I fixed it. For some strange reason, when they assembled this originally, the tie rod ends, or the one on the far outside, right there, you can see the mark, I guess at times would rub against the tire. There was a very slight gap between there. Now the gap is much bigger. Had to get two longer bolts. I put spacers in between the bar here that holds the two tie rod ends, and then I used grade 8 bolts, keep it strong, and now we got plenty of space between the tie rod end and the tire. Hopefully you can see it. So that problem is solved. So now I'm going to lower the car and get the seat belts in for this seat, and then put the seat back in once the seat belts are in. So that's the next move, and in the meantime, I got the client helping, and she's gluing some parts together for the trunk. And then she's going to put some tail lights in. And so we're going to move on from there, so stand by. Here we are again. We got the seat belts in, bolted down real good. The seats are in. The seat is in, and so is the seat belts. Seat and seat. Seat and seat belts. Seat belts and seat. That's it. Spit it out. In place. We're not putting the front rug in there yet. We're going to see the time frame. We still have to put the emergency brake setup in, which will be brand new. So never had it on there before, but we got to put it in there. And that might be the very last thing we go to do based on the time schedule. So right now, this morning she did bring me what was on back order for the pump. So this is what the fitting is. I've showed this before, I believe. Really sweet. Two of the sealant washers. That's what seals it on this. To me, it looks like a banjo style nut or bolt, not a bolt that goes through there. And then the bolt that fastens it to the pump. So right now I'm going to put that in and get that done. Hopefully you can see it. See me doing it. Doing that. Get it in. Hopefully. Yep, that should do. You gotta sneak it in like this. I'm going to start the bolt, but I'm not going to tighten it up. I don't want it interfering with the banjo nut. That's important. Alright, that's not tightened up, which is good. Now the next three pieces. And this takes an Allen head, so I just want to make sure this is what it looks like. It's got the holes just like a banjo bolt would be. Interesting looking top. But I'm going to match this up. Alright, I got it. And can't really read the size because I don't have my reading glasses on, even though they're on my shirt, but they're holding the microphone. It doesn't matter. Just to let you know, it takes an Allen wrench. And to me, these appear to be made out of aluminum. I've done the same thing with the Cummins diesel engine, but I made it thicker for the oil drain plug, and it's working great. And I put a little anti-seize on the side where the aluminum is going to touch the bolts, whether that plug was stainless steel or metal. Just wanted to make sure there'd be no oxidation going on there. I don't want to create an issue trying to get it off. Alright, now I got this for the top. I got to slip this underneath the round part of where this goes through. The good thing is there's big slots here on the pulley where it allows you to get your fingers in there, so you can slip that washer in there and line it up. There we go. And see, having the bolt starting on the other side helps you keep it lined up, because you don't want it getting out of an alignment, so to speak. So that helps. That's why I put it in there. I didn't want to have any issues after I had it, the top end tightened up. Now I need an extension and a ratchet, and I'll get that tightened up. Bolt on the back is a 10 millimeter. Got that just a little snuggy. I want to make sure we're coming in from the top, maybe. Alright, now I'm going to snug down on the top. And she is snug down good. Good old ratchet wrench. Now to make sure it's tight, I'll use the big wrench. Alright, that's in. I like it. Now you can see it in place. There is the banjo nut. Hopefully you can see the other end there where the line will get hooked up to. That is an awesome setup. I'm glad I chose that. So the client has left actually moments ago to go get the universal joint, not a weed joint, to replace this one here, so that we can actually put the rest of the steering column in place. And then this way, once it's in, then I can work ahead on doing the hydro boost. So we'll place this up here, and that's that for that. Put some of the tools away. Alright, so until the next part is completed. Actually, there's one other thing that was done. Taillights. They're in. Wires are hooked up. I'm going to do something to see if I can do something on securing these to stay that way if we can. Same with the other side. Actually, the client did the wiring and the hookup. She used to work for the telephone company doing the wiring work, so very familiar with all that stuff. And nothing major, but the little bushing that I made, she had this real fancy good glue. It's awesome stuff, and created that rubber bushing on the top for the push-ups. just like that one. This one was on there. There was one missing, so I made this. And actually I made it out of the airbag rubber that are used for tractor trailers, the airbags. I ended up replacing them one time on a big, probably could have been a straight truck, road tractor, I don't remember. But the one was pretty bad. I ended up changing both of them out. I kept one, I'm going to make a jack out of it. And I kept that rubber with stuff just like this to make it. So that's in and done. Carpet's in there. I don't want to put this stuff in there yet. We have it. It's just that in case I got to crawl in there for this piece that I'm making, it just gives me more room to fit. So that's the scoop on that. Yeah, I like that. It's got a good push. Definitely. So up until the next spot, hang tight. Thursday night actually. So I'm going to show you the last couple of things I just done. And that's going to end me working on it for this evening. Tomorrow being Friday, that's another day. So the last where I left off was all that stuff inside with the seating, but I added wire anchor to that backside over here for that light, which I think is something that if you got wire in that vicinity, you might want to do that. There it is. And then last but not least, the client was able to snatch up the other universal joint. Well, that's the one that was already on there. And there's the new one. I'm pretty sure you can see it. The black unit right there. That's in place now. So I had to loosen up the column, get it to slide up. No big deal. There's 2 points of interest, one at the bottom and one up towards the top. So once I was able to move it up enough to get it in there, it's all good. All done. So here's Puss in Boots. She just got done inspecting it. The tail is up. She's waving. She's happy. She says it's good. Yep, she's coming over. Yep, she likes coming around the camera. It's got a little wet. Her tail is wet. Yep. Right, Puss in Boots. Well, tomorrow, I believe what's going to be in store is going to be two things. First, the cable hookup with the battery. Yeah. And then after that's all in there, because the hydro boost is going to be right here, so it'll be in the way. So I'm going to do this first, make sure we got it nice where it's needed, being that I was told how to adjust this cable. And then we will stick the hydro boost in there and go from there and hook up or measure for lines and so forth, get some measurements from the power steering to the power steering box to the hydro boost to the brakes. Yeah, all that is going to be some fancy footwork going on there, but it's going to be all good. Yep, all good. And I guarantee that's going to be pretty much a whole day tomorrow, as far as I could tell. Tricking the cable, the hydro boost, the lines, as far as the steel lines, measuring them out, and getting that all taken care of. And the reason why I'm not going to put the nose piece on there, the center grill yet, because I got to get in here on this line right here, so it's easier access from the front into the side. So that's my plan. I'm sticking to it, and I'm really looking forward to getting this nose on here because it's really going to bring it together. But in the meantime, last night my friend came and we carried the hood out from the spray booth. We brought it in and we placed it on the stand, and just before I got putting in the universal joint, I peeled all the paper off from underneath, took all the tape off, and got it all cleaned up. So that's ready to go on once I have the nose piece on. Right, put them boots. Yep, she's saying definitely. Yes, kitty. Yep, she wants more attention. She blocks me off. Come over by my feet so I can't go forward. That's right, put them boots. But for this evening, that's going to be that. So tomorrow's another day. I'll see you then. Have a good night. Well, hello, and I'm back, and I'm about to show you some progress. Not like getting right to it. We got the transmission cable adjusted. I just have to wait for a buddy of mine to help me out here with the setting for this transmission for how much tension that needs to be on that line. But all is well there, and that's taken care of. Now we're starting to set up for the Hydro Boost, and it's really interesting. I'm glad that they gave us these types of bolts, which allows, to grab more material. But the setback is that they don't sink in; they just go flush mount. So I got them here. The plate, I took it off, and I milled a slot in there so that the end of it will go in there and be awesome. So that this way I can catch more thread, because not enough sticks out based on the studs that are sticking out, because that plate is so thick. This side here is pretty decent. Could be better, but this side, it just sticks out maybe 2 or 3 threads, and that's not enough. So with all that being said, I put it on the milling machine, and I'm just making sure that everything works out just fine, and which it does, so I shouldn't have any issues. I'm bolting that in and keeping it safe. And once it's on there, I'm going to determine whether or not if that kind of weight needs any support, or even if I can put any support underneath it. It's made not to have support underneath there, I believe. But we are talking fiberglass, but the metal is directly behind it, so we might be good. So up until the next move, like all I can say is stand by. All right, I'm back. We got a few more things done. It's really coming together very well. It's painful along the way on certain things, but at the end of it all, it's definitely worth it. So let me take you around and show you what's done. So the Hydro Boost is bolted in, and as I showed you prior, I milled out those slots, worked out very well. It is very strong. It doesn't need any additional support. You can see me trying to move it. Awesome. And we did check the chrome air cleaner to make sure it was going to fit, and it does clear very nicely. Absolutely. Yep. And we actually also wired and mounted. She wanted a USB port and a cigarette lighter type thing, and there it is. It's lit up, little LED light, and this is the way it comes actually. So I don't know if there's a cap for this. I'm gonna have to check, but I don't think so. And the AC unit is mounted in the dash. Right now it's just being supported by some wood, but I got to custom make a bracket to go back there and hold it up. But it looks like it belongs there, like this was meant for the car, which is super duper nice. I think it is. She thinks it is, and that's all that matters. So moving along, after I get out from that being up in the air, crossing over, that's going to end this segment, because today is Friday. Absolutely. And Monday we'll start another segment, and we'll be moving along, get some measurements for some hoses and so forth for power steering, brake lines, and all that other happy stuff that goes with it. And that's going to be that. We're just going to keep rolling forward, and I'm sure we'll have 98% of it ready to where she can actually take it to go on her trip with it, and then when the trip is done and over, bring it back, and we can finish up all the other little details. But that's what we're shooting for, because time's getting shorter and shorter. But until then, I do appreciate people watching. If you can give me a thumbs up, make a comment. Hopefully I'll get to see the comment if you make one. Subscribe if you haven't. And until the next time, try to get something done.